Carolina.
And I'm Joe Senacero. Thanks for joining us today.
And we're a part of the PC Professional Company based out in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yes, we've been providing consulting services to our clients for the past 37 years. Thanks again for joining us today for our presentation on ransomware awareness.
Thank you.
The topics we're going to be covering today are ransomware in the news. We're going to help define exactly what ransomware is. We're going to talk a little bit about ransomware's alarming growth. We're going to talk a little bit about social engineering and define what that is and how it works to compromise your systems with ransomware. We're going to help you identify suspicious and malicious emails and things to be aware of. And then we're going to talk a little bit about ways you can prevent getting ransomware, how to prepare for any malware or ransomware attacks, and what to do to recover in case, unfortunately, you receive ransomware. So just talking a little bit about in the news, there's been well-documented news stories about organizations that have been hit with ransomware that has either put them out of business for several days, if not completely, as well as compromised a lot of their customers' personal information. One that happened late last year, 2017, there was a variant of ransomware called WannaCry, and I believe they named it that because everybody that got it definitely wanted to cry, and it caused a lot of havoc. It spread throughout Europe and Southeast Asia, got into the United States, though not as prominently as it did abroad, affecting over 99 countries, and basically took out major healthcare organizations, companies, and even some government offices. I think at last report over 200,000 systems were infected, and I believe they were demanding a ransom of only $700-800 per system that was compromised. But when you tallied that up, I mean, it was in the millions of dollars. I'm not sure how it all worked out, but it is a great example of how widespread ransomware can get out there and affect your systems. From a local standpoint, we're in the San Francisco Bay Area, and our municipal transit agency was affected by ransomware in 2016. It effectively locked down the entire transport system, and by that I mean people were unable to use their tickets and purchase new fares and ride public transit, which includes the BART system, muni buses, etc. At that time, the CTO of Muni, which is the Municipal Transportation Organization, decided not to pay the ransomware. I believe they were looking for roughly $73,000 to restore the systems. The technology officer at Muni felt he had good backups and thought he could recover. He was able to recover, but it did take 4 to 5 days to actually do that. During that time, the systems were offline, and basically for the individuals that needed the system, they let them ride for free. So basically, over a 4 or 5 day period, I think it tallied somewhere in the $50,000 range in free fares. And since that time, obviously, service has been restored, and we haven't heard of any compromises since. But 2 examples there of how devastating ransomware can be if it gets into not only your personal system but into your company's network. So what exactly is ransomware? It's basically a form of malware. You may know better as a virus or computer virus, and it's software that you don't want. Typically you haven't asked for it, and it infects your computer and does a lot of things that you would never want to happen. Specifically, it locks up all the files on your computer and you can no longer access them. There's different variants or versions of ransomware, and some of the names that relate to it are CryptoLocker, CryptoWall, Locky, and Crypt XXX, to name a few. Ransomware continues to grow at a clip of over 400% since 2015. And the forecasts are that'll continue to be the trend in 2018. Not only can ransomware infect your computer, it can get on all your smart devices, including TVs, cell phones, tablets, game consoles, printers. So a lot of things are at risk, and once they get ransomware, it basically renders them useless until it's resolved.